reason to resist. Your savior is no I can taste your terror, child. All that anxiety and doubt. It's delicious. Give in to your fear. Flee screaming, and I'll let you live.
Knuckles, can you hear me?
Rouge! It's about time. How's Sonic doing?
He's been better. They're getting ready to banish him into space.
What? You can't be serious!
Eggman's been keeping Sonic alive all this time. He's been waiting to show him his completed empire before banishing him.
Torturing Sonic just to pass the time. Oh, that's low, even for Eggman.
Eggman got wind of our rescue plan and is moving forward with his plan ahead of schedule. The clock is ticking, boss. But we don't even know where he's being held captive! Yes, we do. Eggman rebuilt the Death Egg. That's where he's keeping Sonic.
The Death Egg? Oh man, that's not good.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war. You all know what to do. Let's go get Sonic.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
Welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Forces. This game is something else, but we have a lot of stuff to go over now. We have the mission system. This is how we unlock all of our avatar stuff. So if we want to make our avatar pretty, and we want to make them wear cool clothing, we have to complete these missions. There's daily missions, there's overall missions. They're really not hard. You should be able to clear these without even trying. So there's that. Also, I want to talk about the fact that the Death Egg is just back. Just magically. Like, this was his endgame for a while. But I guess Eggman is just, you know, he's moved on to greener pastures, and the Death Egg is just a part of his everyday schemes now. So, we are doing the Avatar once more. And I do have one thing I want to talk about before we get into some of the things that I kind of skipped over about the Avatar, specifically the grappling hook. There are red rings returning in this game, and they actually do quite a lot. Once you've collected all of the red rings in a stage, you will unlock a bonus stage, is I believe how that works. And after that, there will be a bunch of different other mini challenges that you can find in the stage. There are silver rings, there's, if you've ever played Sonic Lost World, there's like the little number rings where you have to go through them in a specific order. It's actually kind of cool, and I like that concept, and I hope they bring it back. It does give replay value to the stages. I just wish the stages were, you know, kind of worth replaying on their own merits. So, but I digress. Let's talk about the things that I've skipped over about the Avatar. So, I've already talked about his Wispawn, but I haven't talked about his handy-dandy grappling hook. He can do a lot of different things with his grappling hook, namely mimicking Sonic. That's how his homing attack works. He uses the grappling hook, and he homing attacks. That's how he drifts, which actually, surprisingly enough, Sonic cannot do on his own in this game, so I guess he's not really mimicking Sonic there. He, stole that ability directly from Sonic, and now Sonic just cannot use it anymore, which is interesting. But there are also these little, orbs around stages, and those allow you to grappling hook onto them. You saw that in the first stage, where you essentially homing attack onto them, and then if you hold the X button, or the cross button, whatever they call it on the PS, I don't know what the PlayStation community calls that crap, the cross button, you'll fling around, and it's pretty neat. They don't really use it in any interesting ways, but it had the potential to be super interesting, so hooray.
This is the end, Sonic.
Oh, hey, sounds like the party started. Want to let me go and join in? No? Of course not. You hate fun. Whoa. Oh, wow. The end, huh? Let's see you try something now that I'm free.
Foolish hedgehog. Getting out of your chains does not make you free. Now, come and face the inevitable.
Ha! The only thing inevitable here is my foot kicking your butt.
Alright, so I actually do have something genuinely positive to say about this boss fight. It is surprisingly unique for a boost formula modern Sonic boss fight. That's something that I didn't think I could really say about this game at all, but once returning to this, I can actually say that this is pretty unique. There's no other boss fight like this in a boost formula modern Sonic game, and I can respect it because of that. I really can. A lot of boost formula modern Sonic boss fights, as we will see later in the game, are just a straight line where you boost and you sidestep, and it's really, there's not a lot going on there. But this is actually an arena where you are actually doing what feels like the boss fight, and I really appreciate that. I do think that as a boss fight, it's still quite basic, and there's not a whole lot going on, but this is early game. I can't really be too mad about it for that, and yeah. I mean, the greatest sin in this boss fight is the fact that Zavok is back, or at least that's what the rest of the Sonic community would say. I don't really mind him. That being said, I've never been a massive stickler for, like, narrative and all that in Sonic games. And, like, I just, like, I don't know. I don't really complain about characters a lot unless they've got an annoying personality. And Zavok is just, like, he's got such a bare bones basic personality that I just can't find it in me to actually care, if that makes sense. Perhaps that's just, you know, indicative of Zavok's general problem of not being particularly unique, but whatever. Yeah, overall there's not that much going on in this boss fight. He slams down. The one thing you need to be careful about is the fact that when he slams down, your initial idea might be, okay, now I have to jump into the air. Also, oh man, lights out, night night. But anyway, as I was saying, when he slams onto the ground, you actually do have to be on the ground, which is kind of, it goes against what most people would think, especially if you played like Mario games in the past. Like the shockwaves will hurt you or screw you up. But not in this one. It'll actually just fling you into the air, and then you can do homing attacks. If you jump, you negate all of that. So make sure to be on the ground. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Keep moving. Really, that's it. Just keep moving. Because if you stand still, he'll home in on you and do all of his attacks in your general area. But if you continue to move, he's not fast enough. So no biggie.
It's that sound again. Whoa, it's not time for thinking, it's time for running!
Welcome to a part of the game that I am going to praise, and also, it brings up one of the biggest problems that this game has. So we're gonna have two very conflicting things going on here. First of all, this level is actually really fun. You'll notice, as soon as we get past this first rail grinding area, there are a lot of different, 3 different pathways we can choose from, which is a lot in this game. And because of that, there's a lot of variance in, you know, how this stage goes depending on how you play it, which cannot be said for other stages in this game. I really, really like it, and I actually don't mind these 2D sections too much. I think that they can go pretty quickly if you're good, but I'm not. So there's a lot of fun stuff that can go on in this level. The problem, though, is that this level ends very, very, very quickly, and this is indicative of a problem I have throughout this entire game. Stages just end. And one of the main reasons that I feel so meh about this game is that the moment I start having fun, the game just cuts it short because all the levels are cut short. So I'm constantly going fast and starting to enjoy myself, and I'm constantly being cut short of my fun times, and it sucks because this level could be a lot of fun, but we're already at the end. It feels like these stages end before they even have the chance to begin, and because of that, every single semblance of fun that I can have with these stages is just negated. And again, I think that's one of the main reasons that my view on this game is just so nothing, you know? Because I can have fun, just not for very long. Also, let's talk about what just happened there. We've seen one of those before, but there are these quick time events where you just have to time your button presses. They're really not too bad, and they show up surprisingly a decent amount. And I don't think they're very fun. I don't like quick time events really in the first place, but these just are not fun at all, because they're super easy, super basic. They're meant to be set pieces, and they serve that purpose well. There's no real punishment for not timing your button press as well, so they're kind of worthless.
Easy there. Everything's cool. Are you here to rescue me? Mm-hmm. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've seen a friendly face.
Hey, Rookie, you still in one piece?
Oh, sure. Don't even bother to ask how I am.
Sonic!
Amy?
I'm so glad!
Hold up, Amy.
Is there an exit around here?
I think we'll be close. We gotta get on that egg in a hurry.
Your concern is touching, Knuckles.
Sonic, finding you alive is the best news we've had in months. And here's the bad news. Our intel indicates Eggman's got a weapons factory in Green Hill, pumping out munitions for his war effort.
A factory? We can't take out Eggman's home base in Metropolis if he's got a factory supplying him.
No kidding. Look, Sonic, I know you just got back, but we're spread thin. Can you take care of this? We need that factory in Green Hill destroyed. Take the Rookie with you.
You sure about this? The kid was shaking like a leaf the whole time we were at the Death Egg.
That's because it's cold in space. The factory is nice and warm.
It will be when it's burnt to the ground. Sonic, you take the lead. Rookie, and just make sure you take good notes.
I got 6 months of payback I'm just dying to spend. This sounds like a good start.
So, there are only 3 characters in this game, but there are 4 gameplay styles. This is a dual Sonic and Avatar stage. Sure, let's call it that. So, in these stages, you have access to the grappling hook, you have access to the Wisp-On, but you also have access to the boost, which is probably the only thing modern Sonic actually adds to this gameplay style. We also have the double boost, which is really inconsequential. This is what you do, this is what happens if you get the button timing, the button spamming just right for the double boost. But, right here, if you don't spam the button at all, they fumble, you look like an idiot, and then it still works, and you can just put your controller down and the game does the work for you. A lot of people use this as kind of an indicator for how linear and handholdy this game is, and how little effort you really have to put into pretty much anything in this game. And I don't know, I don't think the double boost is particularly good, but I also don't think it's particularly harmful. I think it's kind of just there, and it exists, and it doesn't really make me feel a visceral rage or anything. And I don't know how they would really do, like, if you failed the double boost, I don't necessarily know how they would be able to give an adequate punishment for that. I'm sure they could kill you. And, like, dying really isn't a big deal in this game because, guess what? No lives. This is, I think, the first Sonic game that's actually done that. So no lives. So it's really not a big deal. They probably could have just killed you and made you restart from the last checkpoint. But I also think that's a bit too harsh for failing to spam a button. So I don't really know. I guess they could make you lose rings, which would probably be an adequate punishment. But I don't see how they could, I don't know, eloquently punish you for failure with the double boost. I really do think that the ring option would probably be the best way to go. I don't know. Overall, I think it was kind of worthless. It doesn't add anything, and it only goes to make the Avatar and Sonic feel that much closer, because this is a special move that only you and Sonic can do. And we'll talk a bit more about that later, but I'm not a big fan of how buddy-buddy they make you with Sonic. I just think it, in certain situations, it feels very, very forced. So personally, I'm not a massive fan of it. I understand that some, like, Sonic is a children's game, and I guarantee you that some kids are gonna be like, me and Sonic are like buds, we know each other, that's great. And I think that's nice, and I think that's cute. But as an old, jaded man, it just doesn't hit the right spot for me. And I'm really just not a fan of the entire concept. But whatever. I can't complain too much.
Something is attacking inside the Mystic Jungle. Silver is fighting him, or it, or whatever. Just hurry!
Guys, it's him!
I'm looking forward to a second round with this guy.
It's payback time, baby. But first and foremost, we have to go through Luminous Force Stage 8. I want to talk about Luminous Force. I don't think any of the levels associated with it are particularly good, but I actually really do like the aesthetic. I think mixing the generic casino level with the generic forest actually does come out with a net positive. I think it's a pretty cool area visually. I just wish this stage wasn't so boost happy. This is really just holding one button, boost button, holding forward on the analog stick, and then holding right on the analog stick here. Keep in mind, holding a direction on the analog stick, optional, because boosting also flings you in that direction, so it's really not necessary. But yeah, it's super simple and straightforward. The only one thing I have to say about this stage, really, is coming up right now. There's a homing attack chain of Buzz Bombers, which I just passed, and I'm actually going to go back to it, and you'll notice I don't get a homing reticle for the second Buzz Bomber in the chain. And the reason for that is that, specifically within this stage, there's this weird, I don't even know if it's a mechanic, I don't know if it was purposeful, but you have to start this homing attack chain with the first enemy in the chain, which is not something that was a problem in other Sonic games, to my knowledge. It's just a really weird thing for here, and it doesn't show up in later stages either, where there are more open homing attack chains. So I don't really know what's going on there, but hey, it's something to keep in mind when going through the level and trying to use those alternate pathways. This is a big snake. Creepy, isn't it? Yeah, this is probably one of the most unique set pieces throughout this entire level. Throughout this entire area, actually. We only start seeing some of the casino aspects of it in a later stage, which is... we'll get to that stage. But anyway, that is not for now. I have a lot of bad things to say about that stage. But yeah, this is over. Really short. Didn't really have time to breathe. It was super simple, super basic. And since we're here, I might as well say, if you are getting S ranks consistently, and even if you're just beating stages normally, you will be getting a crap load of Avatar accessories every single time you finish a stage. I am going to be speeding these up in the future, unless I really need extra time to talk about something that happened in a stage, because again, these stages are very, very short. But, oh my god, you get a lot of things you can use to spice up your avatar. So I'll be changing up my outfit pretty frequently. So look forward to that if you're into the whole character creation aspect.
This wasn't part of my agenda, but I'm always happy to crush a hero. It keeps the rabble in line, shows them that there is no hope.
Does anyone but you believe your lies? Huh.
Time to tag out, Silver. I got it from here.
Well, look who's back from the dead. The little blue savior. But what's that I smell? You reek of fear. Glad to see I left an impression.
That's not fear. I ran all the way over here. And you haven't left an impression. I don't know anything about you, not even your name.
You may call me Infinite. In the brief moments that remain to you.
Oh, great. See, Infinite? Now we're getting to know each other. So, what's your favorite color? Do you like long, romantic walks on the beach? What's the source of your power? You can skip the first two questions if you like.
The source of my power is none of your concern.
Sorry, but you've just got to share the secret of your power with me. I insist.
Your insistence is futile.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Sonic, you okay?
So I actually do really like some of the cutscenes in this game. I think character animation is very limited in this game, and a lot of cutscenes suffer as a result. But the action-oriented ones really make it a bit harder to notice that. So I actually really like cutscenes like the last one. I think they're pretty interesting. Now, talking about interesting. Infinite really had a lot of potential to be interesting. Infinite was a new character, completely new to Sonic Forces, this new antagonist we hadn't seen. Unlike Sonic Lost World, he actually seemed to have a lot of interesting stuff going on, like this right here. If you get hit by any of his weird little red boxes, he can make things magically appear that can harm you. And that leads for a lot of interesting takes on boss fights, and I think there's a lot of potential there. But he's not a particularly good villain in the long run. He's really shallow, about as shallow as any of the Deadly Six members. The only thing that he has going for him is his design. I don't like his theme song at all. I should actually probably talk about this in general. I don't like a lot of the music in this game, but his theme was specifically kind of something that I was like, okay. Okay. And it's definitely because that's not my type of music. I'm not going to hate anybody who likes it. I know there's a good amount of people out there who really like it. It's just not for me. But, I don't know. I think his power is neat. I think his character design is neat. And I just wish jumping ahead a bit here, I kind of wish the story followed suit and made him very unique. So, last Sonic boss fight, I was talking about the fact that I thought the boss we were doing was pretty unique for a modern Sonic boss fight. And the reason I was saying that is because a lot of modern Sonic boss fights are kind of like this, in the sense that you're running on a straight line and there's really not a whole lot going on. I will give this one credit, though. I do think being on a cylindrical arena actually does do a lot to add to the possibilities this boss fight has, and it does take advantage of that. You saw some of that near the end. They had the boxes that you could either jump over or just go through, and I think that's kind of neat. I really do think that this is one of the more interesting takes on that type of boss design, and it's better than a lot of the other boss fights in the game, and I think it does well to show off Infinite as a villain, what he can do with his powers, and we'll get more into him later. I just wanted to talk about him kind of briefly for this boss fight, because we don't know a whole lot yet, so.
Well, you've improved since the last time, but you will still lose. As I predicted, you're not even worth the effort to finish off.
I gotta figure out the secret of his power.
Look, I didn't complain that much this time. But next episode's going to be very, very different. So, until next time.